very honored to have the Next Shift Learning team as well as Snap Academies to tell us more about their program as well as how to apply. So let's start with some intros from your team. Tell us your name, title, and role.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So great for you guys to join us today to learn about the Snap Academies. My name's Laura Heiser, and I'm the program manager for the Snap Academy. So I run the end-to-end execution of the program. This is my fourth summer of running the Academy experience, where we bring together 60 talented scholars across the community college system in Southern California and even across the US. To engage with us over the summer in design, engineering, marketing, communications, and AR learning curriculum. I have three of my Snap Academy alumni here to share more about their experience. So I'll let them introduce themselves. Anna, do you want to start us off and share, your background and your experience in the Snap Academies?
Hey everyone, I'm Anna. I'm Snap Storytelling Academy alum from 2021, so the first one, I believe. I'm currently still a student at Santa Monica College. Even though I did graduate, I went back to take some extra classes. And currently I am an apprentice at Puma. So I'm here to share my experience with you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message. And I will pass it back to Laura or Christian if either of you want to take it over.
Hello, everybody. Christian Enriquez. I was a part of the Snap Lens Academy in 2022. And I actually finished my degree. I was a part of the IXD program at Santa Monica College. And yeah, after being a part of the Snap Lens Academy, it opened up my eyes into this amazing career path, which I had no idea I was going to get into. And shortly after the academies, I was able to uh, create I founded a company, and we're focused on augmented reality, and we have a team of other Snap Lens Academy people as well, and we work with cities, museums, and all sorts of other people. It's been an amazing experience to make a career out of this, and it's all thanks to the academies.
Yeah, really great to see the talented work and the collaboration that's been happening across our alumni post the academy. So excited to share more about that. And Zaira is here as well.
Hi, my name is Zaira Torres. Sorry if you hear the airplane, haha, LA. And I am from the Snap Design Academy 2024 last year. Very much missing it, but it was really, really fun, a lot of learning. I really missed the group we had. We had a really good vibe, and a lot of the folks just of that, from the Snap, from Lens to engineering to storytelling. It was a really great bunch. Let me see if I can calm down this noise. But yeah, really great time. Really, just a really great experience.
So what I'll do is I'll jump into a few slides as shared. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. I know Anna, Christian, and Zaira can answer some of them. And if they can't, I can surface them as well. And just the goal here is to share just a little bit more about the Snap Academy's experience. And make sure that you guys are, getting your questions answered if you are interested in applying. I'll mention that we're in our 8th year of hosting the Snap Academies in partnership with Snap. So the company I work for is Next Shift Learning. We build out learning experiences for companies, and we've had this partnership with Snap again for 8 years. So just really excited about continuing this partnership and reaching more students to provide them with educational training, specifically in the space that, folks want to join, right? So first and foremost, the Snap Academies, they're 9-week summer educational programs, specifically for community college students and recent transfer students. So I know quite a few of you might be already transferred to a 4-year university, which is great. But ultimately, the goal of this experience is to tap into the immense talent that comes from our community college systems. We recognize a lot of tech companies across, the country, when they're engaging students in early talent programs, they're overlooking the talent at community colleges. They're overlooking talent in some of the spaces that are cultivating some really, really great, amazing contributors, right? And so Snap really made it a priority to think about which population they wanted to serve because, you know, again, internships kind of tap into that 4-year already established, have access to opportunities that maybe community college students do not have. So this is a program hosted by Snap Inc., which are the makers of Snapchat and Lens Studio and Spectacles, which was a new product they released last year, 6 months ago, that Christian is now wearing right now. Good product placement. Those are the AR glasses that are currently used by AR developers like Christian. And so if you are accepted into the Snap Academies program, as I mentioned, it's 9 weeks. And throughout those 9 weeks, we engage our students in customized domain-specific curriculum to help develop their skills. Everything's project-based. So every week you're coming in, you're tasked with a specific project by your co-instructors, and you go through different learning experiences to build out your skills. And ultimately build out products for your portfolio, right? In addition to that, we have several workshops and engagements with Snap team members. So they're coming in on a weekly, if not daily basis to provide feedback and critique, share more about what they're doing at Snap and the different developments that their team is going through in real time at the company. And we also pair each one of our scholars with a Snap mentor, specifically in the domain that the scholar is in. So we design a Design Academy scholar with a design mentor that works at Snap. So I think that's a really cool opportunity for that one-on-one relationship to develop and able to get those like industry insights and advice from someone who's walked in the same path that our scholars hope to walk in. And I think, as shared multiple times, this is a highly collaborative experience. And so one of the huge key takeaways from this is building out a really incredible network, not only the network of the Snap Academies alumni, but also the network of supporters at Snap and beyond, which has been a really beautiful thing to see. And then lastly, we have quite a few things we do as far as professional development. So we have a professional development curriculum that takes place on Fridays with 2 instructors that lead us through, you know, anything as it relates to mock interview, prep, interview, or excuse me, resume, workshops, and just being able to tell your story. So kind of a wide array of experiences over the 9 weeks, but I feel like I can say confidently that it's a really enriching experience and a really fun experience as well. So I kind of shared a little bit about the eligibility, but I'll go in a little bit more. So we bring on 60 scholars every summer for our annual cohort. In order to be eligible to apply, each candidate must be 18 years or older, and they must be based in the United States. We are looking for community college students or recent transfer students. And then additionally, we have area of focus for opportunity youth. So folks that have been impacted by the foster care system, housing security, and justice involved. And so more information about that is on our website, snapacademies.com. But those are the different populations, as I shared earlier, that we are hoping to engage in the Snap Academies experience. Additionally, who we're looking for is folks that are aligned with Snap's mission, values, and voice. And so Snap's values are being kind, smart, and kind, smart, and creative. I just was like combining the words. Sorry about that. And I think throughout the application process, and even like I'm sure the alumni can share, but Snap is a company that really abides by its values, and you see it in so many different ways of work. You see it in so many different interactions that you have with the Snap team and when you're working every day. And so just ensuring that that's embraced and aligned for the scholars that join us over the summer. And then lastly, communication skills. Across all 4 academies, you're presenting quite a bit. You're talking to a lot of people, you're collaborating on your projects. And so being able to communicate well and be open and enthusiastic about communicating with a lot of different people is a key factor that we're looking for in our applicants. I'll jump into a few logistics. So as shared, we spend the summer together. So from June 16th through August 14th, we have 9 weeks of curriculum, projects, mentorship. We even do a final showcase sprint at the end, which is our culminating project, where we work on cross-functional teams. So we have designers, storytellers, and engineers come together to build out a final project. And then our Lens Academy kind of has their own version of a cross-functional team where they have folks that are focused on the scripting and coding, folks that are working on the design assets, project managers, so on and so forth. Our design, engineering, and storytelling academies take place in person at Snap headquarters, which is in Santa Monica, California. And then our Snap Lens Academy takes place virtually via Zoom. So when we say it's based, or the academies is open to anyone based in the United States, typically we're talking about the folks that are applying and interested in the Snap Lens Academy, because we have people from across the country participating. I will note that it is a full-time experience Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you are on the East Coast, which we've had quite a few alumni that are, they are abiding by Pacific Standard Time. And then resources. As part of the program, we treat our scholars just as employees of Snap. And so on day one, you walk in and you come and get your workspace. You have, your work laptop, you have your peripherals, which is like your monitor, keyboard, all of that good stuff, to make sure that you're as successful as possible learning with us over the summer. And then we also provide an academy scholarship. And so that academy scholarship, the goal there is to be able to provide funds for folks to be able to fully commit over the summer. We recognize being able to commit full-time might impact folks' ability to have a part-time job, or be able to support in ways that they need to support. And so hopefully the scholarship helps to counterbalance that need, so that folks are able to join us for the full summer and don't need to decide between like developing skills versus like having to work and take care of responsibilities. And then lastly, I have here, the applications are due by April 4th, which is almost 2 weeks away. So glad that we're having this info session now to answer any questions and make sure you guys have what you need to feel successful. So the stage we're in right now is we're accepting all applications from interested candidates. And that initial application essentially asks you to submit your resume, your transcript, and then 2 work samples. And those 2 work samples ultimately allow us to understand what you're interested in, what your background is, what experience you have in your selected domain, to help us to get to know you a little bit further. After we assure that you're eligible for our program, then you're invited to do a video interview. And the video interview essentially asks you 5 questions. And those 5 questions are related to the SNAP values, and again, allow us to get to know folks a little bit better, outside of just that written application. All applications to apply for the SNAP Academy are due on Friday, April 4th. And then our hiring team takes a look at our candidate pool and moves folks forward that we think will be a good fit for the SNAP Academies to the project-based assessment. And so this is where maybe you're talking about, Kina, of, we want to see your current skills. And so each person that applies, say, to the SNAP Storytelling Academy gets the exact same project. We don't reveal what the prompt is beforehand. We want to make sure everybody has the exact same amount of time to approach the project and are able to kind of showcase their skills on a level playing field. Because we recognize like some people come from having industry experience. Some people, maybe they're only in their first year of studying communications or media design, things like that. And so being able to see those varying perspectives and understand, all perspectives are valuable. And so we love to see, personal insights come through in those projects. And then our hiring team spends some time reviewing projects and then moves the candidate pool that are moving forward to the next next stage, excuse me, to the final stage interview. And this is where we actually bring in our SNAP team members. So candidates have one-on-one interviews with SNAP team members. So again, if you're interviewing with the Snap Storytelling team Academy, you might be interviewing with someone on the marketing team at Snap. You might be, interviewing with someone on the GBX team, which is their global brand experience team. Which is a really cool opportunity. It's an opportunity to showcase more about yourself, why Snap is the right fit for you on this journey that you are in your educational and career trajectory. And then ultimately, by May 12th, we make the decisions of who are moving forward as our finalists for the summer academies. And so we notify our candidates on May 12th and finalize by the 14th. I do have 3 of our alumni on the call. So would love for them to share a little bit more about the experience. I think I could share a lot about the Snap Academy's experience as someone who runs the program, but I think their unique perspective and like what their takeaways were from the program might be a little bit more insightful for you guys. So would love to share and bring back to the screen Anna, Christian, and Zaira. How was the application process for you? Like thinking back to a couple years ago, what motivated you to apply? How did you make sure your application stood out to our hiring team?
The interview process, it talked about myself and so on and so forth. I started getting a little interested, but I think where things took off was you will notice on the timeline there that there's a where you test your skill out. And so for my very first experience that I did, which changed my whole mind about everything, was I created an experience to where you can, pull up Snapchat, you point at the world, and if you tap on certain areas, whether it's the walls, the bed, the floor, flowers grow out of it and little bees start dancing. And again, never in my life would I thought that I would be able to create something like that. And I fell in love. And I was happy to find out that the Snap team fell in love with it as well. And um, so the application process was actually easier than I thought it was going to be, especially because that process alone helped me grow an interest in the field. Yeah, it was amazing.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Anna, how did it go for you?
The application process was both exciting and scary because similar to Christian, this is a unique experience for me. The only experience that I had with storytelling was working with my grandma on her business and trying to help her stand out online, like starting her Etsy and things like that. So it was more of like trying to transfer those hands-on skills to the academies. So during the application process, I really just wanted to showcase like my voice, like my creativity, my current storytelling skills from like both what I was doing with my grandma and also school projects at the time. And then also just making sure that I was communicating with the team, like my current skills and things like that. I think at the time, like I had big imposter syndrome, and that's something that I worked through to kind of get over. But I really had a great process throughout the entire application, even interviewing. Like there was never a time where I felt like I couldn't ask a question. So I definitely think that if you're kind of second guessing yourself, just apply. I totally recommend it.
Zaira, want to kind of share your experience?
Yeah. I remember, I feel like I'm kind of similar with the others that I remember seeing it and my thought was like, well, I'll apply. I think I'll get rejected, but what's the loss? And so I decided to apply. And I liked how extensive the process was. There was just so many, they're very much looking for, like, you would ask about everything, like, are you familiar with this, this, and this? And it's not to say if you're perfect about it, but they're just like, what do you know? And they were really happy with just like any type of broad work. So it was very much just like, show your work. They really want to see you. And during the interview process, I kind of thought, like, what do I have to lose? Like, I just very much wanted to be me throughout the whole process. Like, what am I going to lose? And I was very surprised when it went through everything and it went okay. Was so happy about it. For the beginning application, make sure you read instructions. I just think that's important. But it was fun and exciting. And when I got to like, let's say the interview part, everyone at Snap, I feel, is very like friendly, nice. They really just want to know you. And I just remember our interview started a little early and they asked me like, oh, if you want, I can give you time to yourself. And I was like, no, I'm too sweaty. Like, let's just do the convo. But it was a good process. Like they are not looking for perfection or they're very much looking for you and your work, and it can just really range in what that work is. And I think just coming in with like you and your passion, your personality, and your excitement is something that I think like helped stand out whenever I was doing the end of the where you had to like record yourself. My microphone was not working, so I had to find some other microphone, and it was a Wii like karaoke microphone. And I was like, whatever, let's just show it, let's just do it. So just really just show yourself. You are what they want to see. So don't think that like this project isn't worth it or like I have to be a certain way. Like it's just be yourself in that application and just read the instructions. That's a little bit of a fall at times for us, but yeah.
Yes, heavy on the read the instructions, so that you're 100% prepared for the experience. What's something that you wish you would have known about the experience before you like stepped foot? Well, for Zyra, stepped foot on Snap campus, but Anna and Christian both did it virtually. So before you guys signed on, what's something that you wish you would have known? Maybe Anna, start us off this time.
Okay. Something that I wish I'd known before like arriving to the Storytelling Academy was how fast-paced and immersive the experience would be. Like you think 9 weeks is like a long time, but it really goes by so quick. From day one, you're like surrounded by an incredibly talented community, from the mentors, like the fellow Academy scholars who you get to collaborate with. And it's like a really fun and supportive environment where you have to think quickly, adapt, and you get like pushed to kind of bring out your creative boundaries and things like that.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Christian, what about you?
Oh yeah. Something that I wish that I knew actually is that it was going to be something that I I wish I knew how much of a collaborative experience it was going to be. I wish I knew how much in depth in the knowledge that we were gonna get into, but also like I wish I knew that I shouldn't fear it that much because I did have a lot of anxiety prior to it. It was actually like even though I was accepted on there, it was actually I still felt a little out of place. Like I know it's weird because like no, you are in, you are what we're looking for, but I feel that um um yeah, if I could talk to myself prior, I would tell myself that everything is going to be okay because there was such a wonderful guided experience, upon joining, which which, if I would have known that, I would have eased the anxiety, but everything was okay though, and it worked out wonderfully.
Yeah, I love that. I think always going into a new situation, you're like, I don't know who I'm gonna be working with. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. And a fair 100%. But I think we really intentionally try to create a space that's safe for folks to like grow and experience the learning and with like-minded individuals. And we bring together some incredible instructors. I think that's always just like an awesome part of all of this is like, yes, you get to work with Snap team members and you have all these amazing mentors, but also our co-instructors that lead each academy are just incredible in their own right, either having their own businesses or their instructors at different schools across the country that really just allow folks to really dabble and explore and collaborate in an engaging way. So Zyra, I'll have you kind of share what did you wish you would have known before you stepped foot in Santa Monica?
Definitely it like I kind of knew it'd go by fast, but it's not till you're there how fast it goes since it was in person. And like the projects do go by fast. A week doesn't feel it feels like weeks will feel long, but also super, super fast. But it's not without it's never boring, literally never boring. But definitely take the pace as a challenge. growing thing. It's also just like that's how projects move. Things get changed around because you're not just working on projects. The program provides a lot of experience to like have like fireside chats, different conversations, and so you get to have that type of experience. And so there's just a lot that gets packed in, I'm sure, as the team knows. But really take it with stride. It's a little bit of a wobble as it kind of starts everybody, but don't it's never the end of the world. Just take it with the pace and give yourself some grace with that. But definitely it's somehow a run and like what is it? A race and a marathon, whatever those two things are. But definitely the pace, super fun. But get that water.
We'll go with Christian. Tell us favorite memory, or what was a typical day like for you in the Snap Academy?
Oh my God. They weren't lying. This is one of those things that, they do require your time, but I promise you it is well worth it because every day was something different. I would learn so much. And they have a really great way of keeping you engaged. Um, uh, and yeah, and as I mentioned, I just kept getting more and more in depth with the amazing stuff that was being shared, because like the people that train you, your instructors, like they are very skilled, and I was so happy to like kind of funny. I would research how to do certain things, and their faces will pop up on like YouTube tutorials and stuff. I was like, wait a minute, I'm actually getting trained by like the people in the industry. So I took advantage of that, obviously, with a lot of questions. But some great memories I kind of had about the academies was the amazing people we're talking to. Like they have something, they have you have these little coffee chats, with people, and you get to meet these amazing people that have been in the industry for a long time. And I can tell you right now, like they become mentors, and even after the academies, I still talk to a lot of them.
David, go for it.
I wanted to ask, what kind of projects did you guys submit for your applications?
Ultimately, as far as work samples, and Christian, feel free to answer in a second. But work samples essentially like want to emphasize like, again, no cheat codes. So like there's not one particular work sample we're looking for. And we recognize a lot of like folks' work is coming from school, right? And so if you are turning in a school assignment, great, talk about it. There's a space on the application where you're submitting your work sample and then you're sharing with us like, okay, tell us the goals for this project. How did you approach it? Tell us about your thinking process. And then like if you had more time to go back and refine it, like how might you refine this project? And I think that response is little clue here is like really important to us, because that showcases like your willingness to grow, right? Your willingness to engage in the learning process. And that's ultimately the type of candidate we're looking for. But just wanting to wrap this up. Andrea, I don't know if you have any final words for the students here.
Yeah, I do. Again, I appreciate all of you showing up. And then thank you so much, Laura, Zyra, and Spirit, because I know she just left, Christian and Anna, for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to the CSU students, CSU transfer students, to tell them more about the Snap Academies program. And I think that concludes our session today.
Have a good one. Take care, y'all.